Hello team, Rowan here. Today I'm going to talk to you about Plague Doctor, a game I've talked about before, a game that started as a game called Contagion, and then it was MedLab, and MedLab had a lot of really cute drawings that I might actually still use for like a House Durable comic or something, or some other game somewhere down the road, but for right now, the old Contagion and MedLab, it has been redesigned to be Plague Doctor, but we had done that back in 2020, which obviously I didn't feel right about. So now we're looking at some of the old images and seeing what needs to be changed now that we're actually going to make the game. Some of the artwork just won't be used for this game, some of it will be used elsewhere within the game. Don't worry, the chicken is staying. But otherwise, some other things are going to be changed. We still are going to have our bloodletting tools. But we're just going to limit it to just 2 tools. The spork stays. Obviously the spork has to stay. And yeah, when we decided that we wanted to actually do this game, it became a matter of, okay, we have playtested, it wasn't quite exactly what we were going for, now we're going to change the amount of cards, and we're going to change how the game actually works. The fundamentals of the game design itself. But the artwork is still mostly fine. It's just some things need to change a little bit, and otherwise it'll remain the same. So we're getting rid of the bowl of poop. Cobwebs might still be in the background somewhere. Keeping leeches, keeping all kinds of cards that I do love the artwork for. So as you may have noticed, these 2 tools, the spork was already there. The other one was like 2 different other tools that I'm combining. Because Rob still liked the spiky aspect. You know, the jagged aspect, but also have it be a hook. I don't know exactly how you would use these tools in bloodletting, but they will also be bloody, just to show you they've been used. This is not a sterile environment. Plague Doctors were not actually the way that we depict them in general. So it's all, I want to say fantasy, but like this is nobody's fantasy, you know what I mean? Fantasy horror. Fiction. Fiction that is loosely based on something that actually did happen. Which was awful. And then we kind of had it happen again now. Which isn't great. Get everyone in your household vaccinated. Get vaccinated yourself. Please. That's been my PSA. Rob also needs a skull, because now the way the game is going to work, you're going to have sort of a timer. Until death. Because you're trying to cure these people. In awful ways, admittedly. But you are trying to cure them. And so how close to death are they? And you're going to be able to keep track of that. There's a tracker for it. And we're going to have a little skull that goes along a line showing how close your patient is to death. Now, what you don't get to see here is Rob's feedback, but I had my fun drawing the skull with ridiculous proportions. I wanted the one big eye and one small eye, realizing that this is going to be a very small, literally small piece of the game. Physically, visually, very small. So it has to read as a skull from far away, but I still wanted it to be, you know, fun, goofy, and this was the way to do that. Though he did eventually ask, hey, can we see the skull with shorter teeth? Not shorter fangs. He can still be a little vampire weirdo, but shorter teeth, and otherwise he was fine. You'll get to see me mess with this a little bit as I try to figure that out. And first I color it. Want it to be, you know, bone color, but not white. Want it to look a little dingy, a little older. And I did want to try another skull for him that was a little bit more simple. Just to see if that read better, and maybe that's what he's going for, because, man, he's got a day job. I'm just communicating with him via, like, Discord. So I was just playing around, and I like the skull too. It's just not as fun, I think. The teeth are very similar, admittedly. I have one way that I like to do teeth. But yeah, this is the boring skull. And then I did try, I succeeded, to make the teeth shorter. Which meant warping it, and also I recolor it a little bit. There are easier ways. I could have just drawn over it. Just, hot tip, if you're doing something like this, just draw over it. It's fine. But I made it hard for myself, because I thought it was making it easier for myself. So much of my life, actually. Then I blend, and now it's teeth. And so that's probably the version that's going to actually be in the game. We also needed a coffin, and a bed. A bed for the actual people to be on, the people you're curing, but they're all in the same bed. So I wanted to make sure there was like an indent for the head, but like anybody could be there. And the coffin, I did try to make symmetrical. It didn't really work out, so I just tired of True Method. After fixing up a little bit, decided to just pick a side I liked better, and then flip it and make it less bendy in the middle. And I did do some wood texturing here. The final version is brown. And yeah, thank you for coming with me on this very tiny little amount of redesign for this game. Most of the redesigning is in how the gameplay is going to go down. Otherwise, it's still pretty much the game that we've been talking about for, at this point, 5 years. And thank you for being here. Rock on!